I would be lying if I didn't say I am completely enthralled with the downfall of the content creator Idubbz. I don't hate Idubbz, I dislike him now. I think mainly why I'm so enamored with seeing how far he's kind of fallen. I think why I'm so enamored and so like invested in it is because again I was a fan of Idubbz. I honestly think if I wasn't a fan, I wouldn't give a hoot about kind of how far he's fallen and all that stuff. But again, just because I was a big fan of him, I was a big fan of Filthy Frank, H3H3, Idubbz, Max Mofo, all those guys. And just I'm just like completely fascinated by where this guy, not even the fact that his like everyone, I'm sure everybody falls off at some point or has a dip in popularity, but like venture to say this guy is almost like completely fallen off the map based off of what people are saying about his view counts and like how his streaming and stuff is doing. And I saw people are kind of making fun of him recently because I guess he was eating. There's something about him eating off of a cardboard box or something. I am just constantly curious about what this guy has going for him. Crazy. I mean, this guy was probably multi-millionaire, a couple of years ago, and then you have the whole creator crash. That's a great creator clash thing that happened, and they may have dumped their entire like savings or whatever they had into Creator Clash because I don't know. We'll watch the video. I'm going on again. I'm just fascinated by it, not because I'm enjoying anything about Idubbz in terms of their downfall or whatever, but it's just fascinating to me to see someone so doing so well and then just make bad decisions and completely fall off. I mean, especially when they had kind of a good thing going. I mean, there's other creators that fall off that like you're not surprised by, like someone connected to Idubbz would be like Leafy. Like it's not surprising to see like the crazy people fall off, like Ice Poseidon or Leafy. It's like that their content strategy is not something that's a long term that's going to last them. But somebody who has something good going, like Idubbz or a Boogie 2988, those are the ones that are the most interesting to me that fall off when it's like, you guys had good stuff. Like Boogie 2988 was like a beloved figure on YouTube. And again, these are the ones that I'm the most interested in terms of their fall offs. But again, people like Leafy and Poseidon, whatever, people like that fall off. It's like I understand that their content is not friendly. It's not saying Idubbz is inherently friendly. I guess his stuff was more adult-like, but at least like he was like semi-beloved character on the YouTube thing. But like, yeah. All right, I'm rambling. I'm a rambling man. It's unfortunate seeing YouTubers fall. It's also wholesome seeing a YouTuber succeed to be happy and still making good content. I agree with that. There is a way to recover, and I don't. Again, I haven't had my major success or anything doing this, but I would venture to think that content creation success is up and down. I would think that if you can get past the first down after you're up, I would think eventually you'll bounce back. I just feel like that's the way content creation works. If you, because I feel like that's what happens. A lot of these guys, Idubbz or Boogie, they are riding high for so long on that up. Eventually, there's going to be a down. But the problem is how do you react to that downward slope? And I think those are guys that like have completely reacted in the wrong way to something like that. And we'll see. I think someone who's handled it pretty well has been like if you guys do watch H3, there's Harley. If you look at someone like Harley Morenstein, like his like brand after I think he sold off Epic Mealtime, but his whole thing after all that, he's completely been on a downslope. But then he's come back because he's been back on H3, he's made friends, he's on other people's shows. And like it happens, like it comes back. It's just it depends on how you handle the downslope. And I feel like someone like Harley Morenstein has been through it all. They've been one of the biggest, most successful channels on YouTube, gone on a downslope, forced to sell Epic Mealtime or whatever, and now they're big friends and they doing some more content, and now Harley's like super popular again. It's like it happens. All right, so let's watch this video. This is a video from someone called Sensitive Society. I'm hoping this isn't like There's no cursing or brutal name calling in this. But they have a video that's called "He's Broke and Lost Everything." And when I saw this, I was like, let's see how bad it is. So I don't mind like some poking at Idubbz, but let's keep it civil. I'll watch it until I start seeing like name calling or something.
I don't know which one to watch. Oh no, that's sad. A glimmer of hope for Ian? Ugh, why does it fucking show me this shit? Get this out of... It doesn't even fucking give me an option to say not interested. That's
Wait,
so gross.
Wait, so Idubbz is actually like... Ian is actively like looking at downfall videos of himself? That's so weird. I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot to turn off the music. That's such a weird thing, in my opinion, to be doing, is to look up videos that are like downfall videos of yourself or falling off videos of yourself. Like, I think it's fine to watch those or something if you're trying to be critical or you're trying to like analyze. But like, listen, as a fan of Idubbz or former fan, and to see what his content has become, there is not a chance that he's going to watch this video and be critical or actually want to analyze whatever videos he's watching. I guarantee you this is just him. He's just a whiner now, which is really sad because when you consider the old Idubbz, he was not like a whiner. In fact, he would like rip on people who constantly whined and dined. Ooh, I watched Sensitive Society, says Skylar. Okay, well, so they're a name. Watching downfall videos of yourself is crazy. Well, again, Odin Salty, I think there's a place for that if you're gonna do it critically or to like just analyze and see what people are saying. But again, I know Idubbz now. He is not gonna do that. He is gonna watch it, whine, and complain, and that's all he's gonna do. So, all right, let's get back to it.
Ugh. It's been about 48 to 72 hours since the last time I said the word Idubbz, since Idubbz came out of my mouth. Wait, that's not kind of stuff. Pause. And I know some of you might be like, Unk, Sense, Oscar, you cannot tell me it could get any worse than the last time you talked about Mr. Idubbz, where he's literally begging for money. He's like 2 seconds away from getting on his knees, starting his own OF, and spread them cheeks for $5.99 plus tax, right? I honestly give Idubbz about 12 months before he has to open an OF, because the way this guy's going, well, he's not going anywhere but down. So since the last time that we spoke of him, he's continued to beg for money. And he had a little crash out a few minutes ago. Once again, hand on the Bible, I didn't think I was going to talk about Idubbz so soon, but Idubbz truly is the gift that just keeps giving. And Idubbz blocked me, alright?
And that is a great point, is like, Idubbz has made it impossible to not talk about him. Like, he is the gift that keeps on giving at this point. It is so hard to, like, avoid his, like, again, hey, he's playing Ghost Runner, says Odin Salty. Again, someone like, I mentioned it, Harley Morenstein, he had a fall off. Not because, I don't think he bad content creator or anything, but like, again, you know, Epic Meal Time, I don't know the specifics behind Epic Meal Time, but things collapsed a little bit, he sold it off or whatever, they don't do Epic Meal Time anymore. But like, Harley, like, his fall off was very quiet. Like, a lot of people, he kind of just went kind of quiet, did his own thing for a while, and you know, people over a couple years have been just like, oh, well, yeah, I remember Harley, I remember Epic Meal Time. And that's part of the benefit of staying quiet and not like going out and being controversial after your thing, is people, when they bring up your name now, when they reminisce and they wonder about you, where you're at, they at least go back and they say, oh yeah, what happened to the Epic Meal Time guy? You know what I mean? Versus like Idubbz, because he's so annoying and his content is so bad now, I don't think people, when they think of Idubbz now, reminisce positively on like the old Content Cop stuff. Like, nobody now thinks of Content Cop when they think of Idubbz. Now, because he's made himself so like kind of embarrassing, now everyone just thinks of like what his next embarrassing move is, and it's like if you're gonna fall off or something, you know, at least stick with it, do your own thing, and be quiet about it. Don't draw attention to yourself. Again, you want to try and keep the memories of like what people follow you for in their head. And I feel like Idubbz is kind of, yeah, I'm talking in circles, but, and again, Harley came back. He's super popular again now. Like Harley's doing all sorts of stuff.
and I will never forget that until the day I pass away. So this is my revenge. so this is my revenge. Let's just address the elephant in the room, the begging situation. I read your guys' comments, and just like you guys were shocked, I was shocked that a YouTuber with 7 million subscribers was this down bad. Like, this down bad, begging for money this desperately. Truth be told, I don't wish this upon anyone, not even my biggest ops. I don't want this to happen to anyone, but this is tragic, and it seems like every single day that passes, he loses more of his Patreon.
Oh yeah, this is something I hope he talks about, but apparently super embarrassing for Idubbz is I think he did subathon. Oh, that's right. I couldn't think of the word subathon. He did like a subathon where he did like a long stream where the whole goal is to try and get new subs or something, where you like, I guess, abuse yourself. I don't understand subathons, but he did like something like that. And I think I saw there was something like he only got like 20 subscribers for a subathon, which, like, for me, that's incredible. If I did a subathon and got 20 subs, I'd be happy. But I'm not Idubbz. Like, Idubbz getting like 20 subs for like a several hour stream is like, it's like, dang, dude. Yeah, that's me levels of success for a stream or something. So I hope he kind of digs into that. I did read something similar about that.
Subscribers, and if I'm not mistaken, this is legitimately his only source of income because YouTube ain't paying the bills anymore. No one's paying Patreon. He makes no money on Twitch, so this is like his last remaining shot. And if you guys thought the last video was pretty desperate, wait until you see this one. Before we get into it though, make sure you subscribe, drop a like, and now we can get into it.
Their primes into a tier 1, or actually better yet, if you... Yeah, we're at 256 points, so we only need, what is that, 44 more? So, if you're a dedicated stream watcher, if you do a tier 3 or tier 2 sub, that counts for more points than just a standard. And then you don't have to remember to renew it. I know we always forget to cancel or renew, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we only need it for this month. Because you need to hit it 3 months in a row. So this month is like it's the final month. And so if we just end up fucking getting it, it doesn't really matter what comes after. I can fucking fall off a cliff right after. Doesn't matter. Oh, Han did the tier 3. Thank you, Han. Thank you for the tier 3. What happens if you get the 3-month streak? It's just a better split on Twitch. But it's permanent. I think it's permanent.
You know what? I'm going to start stealing this move. Hey guys, Sense here.
That's pretty brutal. I mean, yeah, I haven't seen that clip. That is basically begging. Like as much as you might need money or you need revenue or income, but it's like he's basically telling people like, I need to hit this milestone. You need to do, and it's like, I kind of feel like you're cooked, right? Are you not cooked when you get to that point? Because I don't know. I'm somebody who, I hate being told what to do. And if I'm like a subscriber or still some reason watching Idubbz, it's like, I don't know. I would, if I didn't jump ship before, it would have been that. That's just crazy. Sheesh.
If you guys could send me some of your money, that would be super appreciated. Make sure you at least donate $300 in super chats, or you're a brokey. If you're not a...
Well, because like the proper way to do that, again, versus downright begging, which that's kind of where he's at. The proper thing to do would be to advertise and talk about your content and your content strategy to get money. If you're going to ask for money, at least be able to do something talented and cool. It says, oh yeah, that's some of what I'm talking about is if you're looking for money, throw out your content and your strategy versus asking people to donate more. It's like, hey guys, I'm not doing too well this month, but I'm going to be streaming a really long stream on Thursday. We're going to go for 8 hours or 10 hours or something. Please join, support us, or double up on selling people your Patreon, offer something new in your Patreon, do something content oriented while telling people that, to help you out. I think I think it's fine to ask, but like, don't just ask. Like, offer something while you're asking. Be like, hey guys, if you really want to support us, if you really want to see more content and be a part of the community or whatever, go to the Patreon, please, or go to, again, I'm gonna do a long stream on this day. Join me and we'll do whatever. But like flat out just being like, hey, can you guys upgrade your subscription status to a higher amount? Because I need it to be eligible for some sort of payment method. Like, yeah, that's kind of insane.
Brokey, prove it to me by donating $300 or more via super chat. And this is just my opinion, right? But there's ways to ask for this type of stuff. Hey guys, make sure you check out this. I have extra content, I have exclusive content,
See,
whatever it might be to get people.
See, is this guy's name Secret Society, Private Society, Sensitive? I'm sorry, Society. See, Sensitive Society has the idea right. That's exactly what I was just saying. Is there's a proper way to go about this thing, and what he's doing is like, it's the. I know I've said this before about Idubbz recently, but his content, it's something that is, there's a commonality here. Idubbz is super freaking lazy when it comes to content now. I don't know if he was always this way, but like, he's just so incredibly lazy. It's like he'd rather just sit there and beg rather than come up with a strategy for what is his method out. And it's like, to me, it just comes off as lazy. I think I mentioned it before, but like when you guys look at his form of content now, it's a basic stream. There's one screen. It's just him talking. Or I showed you guys the other video streams they were doing where they were basically in a basement sitting with a blank canvas with just a blank wall behind them as they're sitting on the floor, him and Anissa. And it's like, it's just so incredibly lazy. I don't know.
To subscribe, maybe be entertaining, maybe stop eating peas out of a cardboard cutout.
Oh yeah, this is the clip I saw. This is the subathon. Was this real? This I have to know more. I saw this quick clip of their subathon where they got like no subscribers, and I'm assuming this is a joke. Like, there's no way. Like, what is that? I don't even know what the green stuff is there. I see crackers. Some sort of sausage, applesauce. Like, I'm assuming this is a joke. This has to be a joke. I can't take this seriously.
Further addressing the rumors that, yeah, you're pretty much broke at this point. Like, I get it. There's ways to ask for, hey guys, make sure you follow me here and make sure you follow me there. You know, I think there's ways to ask for that kind of stuff. But once again, this is just my opinion, my humble 2 cents. I think this is like one level above literally getting on your knees and being like, guys, I don't want to get a real job. Please donate. Please send me your money. Please, if you have extra money, please send it my way. Which, low key, I would respect it a lot more if this is how he was operating. And I'm just thinking to myself, wait, doesn't his wife have a no web? Doesn't she contribute to the Jamha household? I mean, I'm sure she's made a decent amount of money from that platform, right? That's just what I'm assuming. This is a broken man. Not only a broken man, but a broke man. Bars?
Let's see. School lunch type of food, says Odin. That looked worse than school lunch type of food, in my opinion. So instead of finding creative ways, he would rather throw whatever is left of content and call it a day, says Skylar. That's what it kind of seems like to me. I mean, I've seen the clips of whatever of her saying that her whole goal when she was starting as a content creator is her mom was telling her she needs to find a millionaire husband or something, and I saw some video of someone saying she cheated on her boyfriend because she went to go to Idubbz because of his success at the time. So I don't know. I've forever said there's a clip of her readily admitting she went after Idubbz because he was a millionaire at the time. And it's like my whole idea with things is if you are going to do something like that, the least you could do is, I guess the phrase would be to protect the bag. You know what I mean? So if you are someone like Anissa and your whole goal is just, I need to find someone who's successful and wealthy, to take care of me, that's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. But like, the worst thing you can do is to like find that person you're looking for and then completely ruin their like career or success that they have going on at the moment, which like feels like that's what happened with Anissa. She kind of stepped in and like completely ruined whatever he had going on.
Who would have thought back in 2016 that Idubbz would become a locale, but here we are. The funny part is that today I was actually thinking about this. I was thinking about Mr. Idubbz, and I was thinking about how crazy the concept is of him just being the punching bag of the internet after so many years, when honestly all of this could have been avoided. He could have had a successful career post being edgy. I do not know why he felt the need to go down this road, burn all the bridges, push everyone away, go after anyone that's ever helped you, ditch your whole fans and your friends just for your wife, who will legitimately leave your ass sooner than later. If this was a Telltale Games, you know, the people that make the Walking Dead games, he managed to hit every wrong option possible to get to where he is right now.
And that is a great point by Sensitive Society. Is like it's again, I mentioned, it's particularly bad for someone like Idubbz because he had a good thing going. Like post the content cop, he had he had a pathway where he still could have gotten out of the, I think they just thought it was very like negative content that they were making at the time, and there's a pathway where they could have still not made controversial or negative content like the content cops and still been successful. And I don't know, just that is a great point he said of like the Telltale. He totally chose all of the wrong decisions up to this point. He kind of did.
He picked all the wrong answers. It's sad. Like sometimes, and all kidding aside, sometimes I do feel a little bad for Idubbz. I'm like, oh, man, this is low-key heartbreaking. Well, not heartbreaking, but it's like, oh, damn, dude, that's rough. But then I remember he blocked me, and I'm like, oh yeah, never mind. I thought he was going an okay direction. When he made the documentary about Airsoft Fatty, prior to that, he had a really nice vibe.
Oh, that's a great point. Is I actually really liked the Airsoft Fatty video. Yeah, I agree with sensitive society. I agree with him. I think the Airsoft Fatty was like an interesting era for Idubbz, and there was an avenue where he could have continued that. But then, like, wasn't Sam Hyde like the downfall? Was that like, I don't know for sure, but if I recall, I think Sam Hyde was like the beginning of the end for him, right? Because Sam Hyde was around the time when, I mean, I guess he had already probably been with Anissa for a time, but like that was like, there was some sort of break there where that whole situation kind of ruined whatever he had going on. And I don't think he ever like got away from the Sam Hyde stuff. King of the Dead Level says, have you heard of the prototype games might get updated because they both got updated on PC? Oh, interesting. Like mild graphical updates or something like that, or content updates?
With another show he had. You know what? I agree. I actually do think his documentaries were pretty solid. I don't know why he decided to go down the virtual signaling route. I think if he would have kept up the truth be told, I do believe had he kept up doing those documentaries that were solid, in my opinion, I thought they were, I've seen them. I think he could have been even more successful than before. I think at this point he could have had over 10 million subscribers, but I don't know if it was him or it was his wife who told him, yeah, we gotta be buddies with Hassan now. So all your passion projects, yeah, they're dead, and now you have to please me and Hassan and the Orbiter. So, or maybe Idubbz hated making those documentaries and this is his true passion, streaming to 130 people on Twitch.
I think I can answer that for Sensitive. So Sensitive is saying that because of he thinks it's may have been Anissa or some of the direction they went with trying to join the Hassan fan club or trying to be a part of his inner circle. It may have ruined some of the passion projects for Idubbz that maybe he liked doing those, but put them off to the side for Anissa. I would venture to say I actually disagree. I think he was always, I don't think he ever liked that. I think what I'm getting, in my opinion, the vibes I'm getting from Idubbz and all of his shenanigans is that he's just super lazy. And I'm not just saying that just because of what they're doing now and where they've gone, but I'm also judging that from, if you go back and you look at some of the H3 clips where they were talking to his boxing coach, was it Michael Briggs? But they were doing, H3 was doing this particular interview with the boxing coach and his wife, and the boxing coach was saying that Idubbz was so lazy that there was times when he wouldn't train for like a period of like 6 months at one point, and he would keep telling Idubbz to like stick with your cardio and stuff. So clearly, in my opinion, because Idubbz seemed like such a headache to deal with in terms of boxing coaching, to me it just seems to be a huge pattern of just laziness in terms of his content, his training for his own company that he owned, which was Creator Clash. He couldn't even train and like and keep up with the regiment that he was supposed to have for his own company, his own business.
begging for money and being the punching bag of the internet. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's what he likes. But I do think he could have had a much better future had he kept producing said documentaries on interesting people. But I don't know. Maybe he hated that. Maybe he prefers to beg for money on Twitch.
Oh yeah,
I think
so
on
sensitive
YouTube,
gets
there's
it.
two route you could take. You could take the PewDiePie route, or you could take the Idubbz route. And if you were given the choice, I think 100% of the people would go for the PewDiePie route. No one with above 2 IQ points would ever choose to go down the Idubbz route. And do I think it's too late? Yes. I don't know how anyone could come back from this. This is embarrassing. Now, the next clip that I want to play you guys is Ian literally being crucified in real time for having an opinion that his insane new cult-like fan base didn't disagree with, and walking on eggshells because of the new fans he cultivated.
Biphobic and transphobic. Oh no, sorry, I wasn't saying no to that. I don't know why I said no. I already forgot. If you want to like him, you can like him. But if bi people say he's biphobic, listen. Well, I mean, I'll listen. I barely know anything about him in general. I've just seen some of his comedy, and it hasn't been way. I haven't seen any of that myself. Well, anyway, the bi question aside, we'll look at some of the comedy right now. It's not just that joke. It's shit he said in interviews. I'm sorry, Scribble and Dibbles. We don't want it to be genuinely. I don't want it to be that combative.
Yeah, dude. If Scribbling Diddles, Diddy? Free Diddy? Like, yeah, if Scribbling Diddy left a comment like that saying, you know what, Sense? This guy's a little edgy. I don't know how I feel about him. You know what I will tell Scribbly Diddy or whatever the fuck his
Go kick
username is?
rocks.
To fuck right off. And that's
Yeah.
actually cool or edgy or based or Sigma. It's just like the second you start pandering to everyone, you will end up pandering to no one. And I've seen this happen time and time and time and time again. And it just never works out well.
But no, I agree with sensitive here. Like, no offense, love all you guys in chat, but I'm not particularly a person that's swayed by, like, I'm always open to criticism. I'm always open to suggestions. I love asking you guys, but I'm not someone who necessarily I would consider a panderer, which he's saying that that's something that Idubbz is sorely guilty of with his community now, is just not pushing back on anything that they're trying to get him to do or say. And that's just not something I'm about. That's like if I was to cover a subject or something that you guys didn't like, and you guys were like coming at me about, oh, I don't know if I don't know if we like that you talking about this or something, or how your view is on it. And I'm someone who's respectful. I would be like, okay, I understand that. I don't care. You know what I mean? That's kind of my viewpoint, is like, I would be understanding, but I also would be like, well, but this is what I want to talk about, or this is my view on it. Take it or leave it. I understand maybe that's hard for people like Idubbz. I mean, you could say maybe because Idubbz is like semi-desperate with what he's doing, he kind of has no choice but to pander a little bit, but
For the content creator, because you start pushing away people, you start inviting new people in, and then those new people don't even like you, so they're going to turn on you within a few short months. I've seen this happen time and time again. This is just Ian once again walking on eggshells because he likes this comedian. I don't know the comedian, so I don't know. I mean, if Ian likes him, he has to be horrible. But he has biphobic allegations and transphobic allegations, I guess, and Ian's new fan base doesn't like that. It's just such a shit show, dude. Like, no matter what he says, he's not gonna please the people who are watching him, the last remaining people that are watching him. It's pathetic seeing Ian being like, yeah, dude, I'm so sorry, Scribbly Diddy, but I'm sorry you feel triggered by this alleged biphobic comedian that I'm watching that I like. It's like, why do you care what a random loser on Twitch has to say?
I'm sorry, Scribble and Dibbles. We don't want it to be genuinely. I don't want it to be that combative. It's just,
and it is kind of embarrassing too to also be like, to see him kind of pander to somebody who he's talking about, this guy Caleb Huron, who he enjoys as a content creator or a comedian, and he's like, he has to, again, the way he phrased it is he's exactly walking on eggshells because someone in his chat is like, I don't like this guy, you shouldn't be following him, but Idubbz has to like act as though he is understanding when like it's like okay, you don't like this person, great, I like this person and I'm gonna watch them. Like, okay, you know.
It's hard to navigate. No, it's fair. I think there are some people. Listen, I'll put it this way. I think we have a lot of people in chat that I'm not trying to say this in a mean way. It's not a mean thing. But a lot of people who are sensitive. That's okay. I can be sensitive. But sensitive and also like blunt is sometimes like that's a rough combination. Can give it but can't take it. I mean, again, I would interpret that as being blunt. Like even you just saying that, can give it but can't take it. That's very blunt. It's that you have to admit as well. That is combative to say that. It's just hard, right? Because there's some people in chat who are I think what is the word? You know what? I'm not even gonna fucking try. Not today. Not today for me. In my opinion, it doesn't automatically make someone phobic to say things that might be offensive. He said the D slur.
I'm trying to think what the D slur is. Okay, I think I know which one.
Oh, the
Took me a
D.
second, but I'm like, D slur?
Okay.
What are we saying?
I have an
think it's the one
idea.
that goes D, Y, K.
Yeah.
You know the rest. I mean, if it's in the context of comedy, I mean, isn't his whole point to roast
And I'm
people
sorry,
and
but like, not to like, I tend to be more moderate or liberal in my views, but I'm gonna do the conservative thing here and just say like, I'm not. I understand it might be a slur. I've always been someone that like, when it comes to comedians, I've always been someone who thinks comedians should get a tiny bit of leeway in terms of saying things. And the one thing I've always held is like, if something, I'm okay with somebody saying something if it's funny. If it's funny and if you don't come off as serious, which that's something I've always held when it comes to comedy is like, and I think that's why it's so important for, uh, to know what comedians say in their personal and private time. Because, uh, if a comedian makes a joke or something like that, where they say an offensive term or something, and it's like in the throes of like a live show or comedy, it's like, haha, that's funny, blah, blah, blah. But then like, if you hear that comedian say something in their personal time where like some leaks of a video call or a video or something, and you realize that like, oh, maybe they are actually racist or something, that changes the context of what they have said, in my opinion, at their comedy shows. So that's why it's super important for comedians, in my opinion, to kind of keep themselves kind of clean in their personal lives, to not like get too much of their opinions mixed in with their comedy. Because in my opinion, the opinion changes the context of the comedy, if that makes any sense, you know. That's my opinion I've always held. Like again, I've always been somebody when it comes to comedy, I'm willing to allow more than I would a normal person. Like, I'm sorry, in my opinion, if Caleb used the D word, but it was funny in the context, okay. To me, that doesn't make him, you know, it was just it was an offensive joke. Now, if Caleb in his free time is out harassing, you know, LGBTQ folks out in his if he goes to restaurants and is harassing people for being the D word, as he was saying, then yeah, it changes the context of the joke 100%. So I don't know. That's how I've always
funny?
held
Now,
it.
whether he's funny or not, that's subjective, but it's like, it's his humor. Like, yeah, comedians roasting people and being edgy, I'm shocked. No one has ever done that. The thing that I don't understand here is, why is Ian trying so hard to explain this to people who are clearly not going to hear him out no matter what he says? He could give the best argument possible on how this is comedy and this isn't that, and his fans will not care. And he spends like 20 minutes arguing with this random chatter who will most likely never return. But he needed to let Ian know that his feelings were hurt. You triggered me. But you know what I mean.
And it made me laugh out loud as a lesbian because it was clearly from a place of love, and I love that shit. But that's just me. People forget we aren't all in a monolith in the queer community. Fair enough. I don't think it's fair to just, you know, be kind of like, what's the word? Like a bit merciless or a bit like extra. Yeah, because it is overly critical.
All right, I'm not even being funny. I'd rather quit YouTube forever, like never come back to the platform, not under a new alias, not even anonymous. All right, just like completely disappear from here. I'd rather do that than to have the fan base that Idubbz has in 2025. It sounds miserable. It sounds draining. It sounds depressing. No, we are not doing this. It's like Idubbz. These people.
Otis Salty says, I feel like an overall good rule for comedy is don't treat it as a serious take on something. It just means something for laughs. Have fun with it unless they are seriously doing it off course. No, that's exactly what I'm saying, Odin, is like, I think for the most part, I'm willing to go with anything that's joked in about in a jokey setting. In a movie, TV show, live performance. For the most part, I mean, short of like a couple saying things, but like, for the most part, I'm pretty okay with people making jokes and stuff of the sort. But again, where trouble comes in is if the context is ruined with their personal lives, where just a random thing. Let's say someone makes a Hitler joke or a pro-Nazi joke or something at their live show. Funny, right? He's making a likable joke for the Nazis. But then, like, if you know in their meantime, they are like they're part of a pro-Nazi group. That completely changes the context of their joke. And I think that's why, for the most part, as someone who's Hispanic, me, easier to understand, I guess, kind of phrase. That was kind of just an analogy for me. But like, that's why, like, hearing a Hispanic joke of someone saying beaner or something, you know what I mean? Like hearing George Lopez say that. That's why, like, I would be willing. I won't say the W word for Hispanic. I guess B word. Well, I'm Hispanic. I can get away with it. But hearing George Lopez or Fluffy or somebody make a critical or annoying joke about a Hispanic or something, I typically would think it's funny and I would roll with it because they're Hispanic. Therefore, most people would think, oh, they don't actually think that because they themselves are Hispanic. That's why typically a black person or Hispanic person gets away with, or a Jewish person can get away with making more jokes about their ethnicity itself, because most people wouldn't take it seriously because they're like, oh, well, they are black, they are Jewish, they are Hispanic. You can get away with it because the context, most people would be like, oh, well, they don't agree with that because they are that. You know what I mean? So that context of like, no, and I'm saying that's an easy way of kind of grasping that. Now, again, I will say, I don't think people should be able to just say whatever's on their mind, in real life, in their personal whatever, that is completely different. Being out and about saying things like that. Trying to think of a moment where that is the case, where someone says, "Oh, I think somebody like Dave Chappelle." Okay, that's the case. That's one of the big ones. Is Dave Chappelle a couple of years ago was getting heat because he was making some trans jokes or something like that. Which I think since then it's kind of like, he was making trans jokes of the sort, which I've always thought is funny. Like, it's a joke. As long as the joke's funny, I don't care. But like, since then, it's kind of come out that like he legitimately may not like folks of the LGBTQ community or whatever. He votes a particular way. I think I'd have to look for sure, but I think that the consensus was that he may not like some of those folks legitimately. That, in my opinion, does change the context around some of the jokes of the past, where it's like, okay, because in my opinion, the context turns it from a joke. I mean, I guess maybe, I don't know. That's always been something that's tricky, is like, it would still be a joke, but I would just say, as a viewer and a watcher, if I were to see him now make a joke like that, I would probably still kind of laugh, but like in the back of your head, it does make you think like, oh, well, yeah, but you actually think this. You know what I mean? It changes the joke, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm rambling.
People do not care about you. Like, I get it, the ship has sailed, it's too late. Even if you try to get your old audience back, you've done too much damage. You need God himself to come back down here and vouch for you in order to get your fan base back. There's people that are always saying, well, Idubbz could come back in one video. Idubbz is still far from over. Guys, it's been over for 6 years. Now, when you think about it, Idubbz has been hated for more time than he's been liked. Just think about that for a second. Idubbz started getting hate when, in 2019, and it's been 6 years, 6.5. When you compare that to his peak, it's like the peak only lasted a few years, but the controversy and hate.
King of the Dead says, me personally, I have a gay older brother, but I still love him because his family and he's still a person. Oh, absolutely. No, I'm not. Yeah, that. I mean, I have family that is gay as well. I mean, it's not like that's a great, in my opinion, that's a great viewpoint to have.
It has lasted so much longer, but yes.
But like I was saying, like if your older brother was to make a gay joke, you would probably 100% laugh at it. Why? Because they connect with that joke in a different way. Now, if somebody you don't know, some random, were to come up to you and was to make a gay joke, and you know what I mean? Like, it's jokes, in my opinion, are all about context, and that's why it's so important I think it's important to know the context behind the comedian themselves and to know things about them. But I think that's why it's important for a comedian to stay out of it. I mean, I'm sorry. I know people are allowed to have their opinions and their stances on things, And I think comedians are, of course, but like if you are a comedian who wants to be taken seriously, in my opinion, you shouldn't let your opinions out because that sways how people can think of your jokes, in my opinion.
Guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel right here, send me your super chats, and drop a like. Drop all the likes in the world. Make sure you have notifications.
All right, so that is Sensitive Society. I really like Sensitive Society. I think I'm gonna. Here you go, live. There's a sub. I want to see what else Sensitive's gonna have coming out. I enjoyed his take on that video.
Well, well. Looks like you've reached the end, haven't you? You imbeciles. On Enter ChazmaN, you'll witness gaming brilliance beyond your comprehension. ChazmaN Live brings the drama. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. EST. Longplays delivers full journeys, uncut and unspoiled. Join the Patreon, Discord, Instagram, and TikTok below, if you can manage it. Still not following Enter ChazmaN? Then mediocrity clearly suits you.